I feel like that there's no better organization than this one to give us that voice.
You know, Farm Bureau is the voice for rural America.
If we didn't have Farm Bureau, you know, we don't know where we would be. They are our voice when we can't make it up there, and I appreciate that, and we need them.
The Farm Bureau right now is the only thing that pulls us together to represent the farmers and the ag industry.
Farm Bureau represents the farmers and the people living in the rural area better than any other organization that I can think of.
You know, help fighting for the farmers' rights, and that's what an organization's all about, and I'm proud to be a member of the Farm Bureau.
So much of the time now we are so far removed that we need to have this interjection with people that are not on the farm.
Farm Bureau is important because it lets the farmers express their views.
Like-minded people working toward a common goal, and most of us, whether we think about it or not, believe in the mission.
The heart and soul of Farm Bureau is our volunteer leaders working to ensure a way of life that promotes and protects our most important industry. And each year, as lawmakers at the state and federal level become further removed from the farm, it becomes more challenging to make that voice heard. But having that grassroots foundation has been and will continue to be the basis of success. Starting at the county level, issues are surfaced and eventually policies are formed that guide the organization through the legislative process. And during the final session of the 109th Tennessee General Assembly, Farm Bureau was successful once again, either defeating or helping to pass legislation important to our ag and rural communities.
It's been great to work with the folks at Farm Bureau when I know when there are issues coming up that I can at least, that they'll give me some honest information, that I'll be able to evaluate what's on the agenda, what matters to them, and be able to try to make an informed decision on legislation.
I know that their word is their bond. I know that what they look out for the farmers of Tennessee is also what's best for all of rural Tennessee. So I count on their counsel and I count on their guidance.
Very important. The Farm Bureau leaders do have the ear of the local farming community in their particular county. Each county has a very important leadership role the Farm Bureau does in each one of those counties. I meet with them regularly to know what the issues are in each county, and we try to do legislation dealing with that.
The Farm Bureau is so well respected for one thing, and they're out in our entire state, but really most of our state is very rural. And so to have the Farm Bureau come out for something like this to encourage our members to get behind this has really helped a lot.
The Farm Bureau itself obviously is a really important part of Tennessee's political structure, an important part of our governmental structure. Lamar Alexander is famous for saying, don't cross the Farm Bureau. So obviously their word is important. They're also a very tough negotiator. I mean, they represent their members very well on each piece of legislation. Their book of resolutions lays out very clearly what their positions are, and so any member with a piece of legislation can see where the Farm Bureau is going to be based on their resolutions. By and large, each member up here has a great deal of respect for the Farm Bureau, what they do, and more importantly, what they represent culturally about Tennessee.
But there's a lot about the ag industry that I didn't understand. And Farm Bureau they were Johnny on the spot to sit down with me and explain, a lot of things, and I appreciate that.
And as a legislator, there's no way you can be an expert on everything. And so to have people as passionate as Farm Bureau and as knowledgeable and willing to help, it allows us to be able to know what we can support, what's bad for the community, what's bad for the agricultural community. And with people like Farm Bureau coming here to Nashville to be able to help us, it helps us do a better job of representing the community.
It's good to have the Farm Bureau up here on the Capitol because they keep an eye on a lot of the bills and the legislation and let us know what's important. And I don't think there's anything probably more important is for Democrats and Republicans to work together for rural interest across the state.
I don't know what I would do without Farm Bureau and their assistance as far as being chairman of the agriculture committee. They keep me on my toes. They let me know what's going on. I couldn't get along without them.
and there's going to continue to be pressure as the population increases globally on these farmers to deliver their produce and their livestock. So we have got to come underneath them more and more every day, and so I'll stand in the gap on their behalf all day, every day. So, and it's a real honor for me to do so.
I want to hear from you all, because thank you.
I trust the farmers to do a great job, and today in this room I heard from farmers from across our great state. I trust them in the stewardship of their land, the way that they farm, the way that they market their products. I'm so proud of Tennessee farmers. I'm going to continue to vote strong for Tennessee farmers and do the best job I can in Washington so that we can have farmers for generations to come.
And thank you for hosting me on your farm.
I absolutely recognize how important it is that we have product that comes from the United States where we know how it's grown, we know it's safe. And to me, this is so important for the entire country, obviously. But not everybody recognizes that because they don't have a farming interest within their district. And so I think Farm Bureau does a great job in helping not only people like me who have a lot of farmers, but to also educate people who maybe don't understand and don't have this as close in their district. And Farm Bureau does a great job in doing that.
We have to get our message out, whether it's our local legislators, our congressmen, the public, as less than 2% of the population, we have to work and strive. That's where Farm Bureau, I think we do a good job, but always can do a better job of getting the message out of how important agriculture is and what, as a farmer, what I do on my farm every day.